Smile. Make sure Jason's in there. His wife will get upset.
All right, 7:10. Holds meeting back to order. I'll entertain a motion to enter back. Second. Councilman Rhodes, second by Councilman Vicarello. At this time, I'll turn. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, will one of the members of the council please make a motion to approve a settlement agreement in the matter of Thompson versus the City of Port Jervis in accordance with the recommendations of our assigned insurance counsel. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second. Councilman Large Hockberry, second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I will notify coverage council.
Okay. Yep. All right, Councilman Vicarello, let's address the tax lien properties in our executive session material.
Okay, I would like to make a motion that the city holds the annual tax lien sale on November 19th, 2024, and that the city withhold the properties of 34 Hammond Street and 88 East Main Street from the sale.
Second.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Okay. All right, moving on to regular business. Code, Councilman Vicarello.
Thank you, Mayor. I will start with, I'd like to make a motion that the city pass local law number 7 in regards to the tax cap override, just the availability.
Yes.
Yes, to override the tax cap for the fiscal year 2025. Local law number 7 of 2024.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Second by Councilman at Large Hockenberry. Any discussion?
Roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote, please. Councilman at Large, or excuse me, Councilman Vicarello.
Aye.
Councilman O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilwoman Fuller.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mann.
Aye.
Councilman at Large Hockenberry.
Aye.
Councilman Rhodes.
Aye.
Councilman Oni.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dennison.
Aye.
Councilman Siegel.
Nay. Local law is adopted.
Yep. Local law passes 8-1. Okay, Mr. Vicarello.
Make a motion to pass local law number 8 of 2024, which refers to the city employee residency requirements under section 115, I believe it is, of the Port Jervis City Code.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion on the residency? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries.
The code committee last met on November 6th. I'd like to make a motion to accept the building officials report.
So moved.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion on the building officials report? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the fire inspector's monthly report for October.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion on the report? Gotta lighten it up a little.
What's the next?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Got a lot of business here.
Discussion was held about the building department review fees and where we stand and where our local law is set now. The fees are very outdated, and this would deal with commercial projects only. And we discussed 1% or a minimum of $2,000 for the building department fees upon filing the permit. And I would like to make a motion to set a public hearing for December 9th to consider local law number 9 of 2024.
That would be to amend the fees, correct?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It's local law number 9. We'll set that for 6/31. December 9th. Okay.
Okay. Other items which were discussed were other fines and schedules which are far outdated. Something that was discussed was the soliciting and peddling under section 403 of the Port River City Code. And the other thing that was discussed was a double poll law, which would be a new law if we decided to go that way with that. In closing, under code, I would like to make a motion that the city accept the winning bid for the 4 city-owned properties that was held here at the council chambers by the city clerk.
Second.
Second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries.
The next code committee meeting will be Wednesday, December 4th at 6:30 here in council chambers.
All right, sticking with you, my friends, police.
All right, the police have not met since their last council meeting. We have received the monthly report, so I'd make a motion to accept the chief's monthly report for the police department.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lord Hockenberry. Any discussion on the police report? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And the next police meeting will be November 21st here in the council chambers.
Okay. Planning,
That's all I
zoning.
have under police.
Thank you, sir. Planning, zoning, and recreation, Councilman O'Connell.
Recreation report, the youth center recreation room is now open 2 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. The youth center recreation room schedule for Thanksgiving week will be as follows. November 25th and 26th at 11 a.m. 3 p.m. Closed November 27th, 28th, 29th. You'll notice during the next couple of weeks, we will begin to put away swing sets, picnic tables, and garbage cans for the winter season. This is standard operating procedure for our department. Tennis nets at Church Street will also be coming down. Lights at Church Street will continue to stay on until further notice. The next Recreation Commission meeting is scheduled for this Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 at 6:15 p.m. in the Youth Center. So there was no zoning meeting this month. There wasn't anything on the agenda. The next planning meeting is on November 19th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. And I would just like to wish my daughter, Michaela, a happy birthday. Your mom and dad are proud of you, and you're growing up into an amazing person. So yeah, happy birthday, and that's all I have.
All right, happy birthday.
birthday.
Hawk has the gift at his house, right?
Yeah. Actually delivered it.
Put it in hot.
Put my brown hat and walk over.
Happy birthday, we have sound.
Finance, Councilwoman Fuller.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have bills to be paid from the general fund, $103,027.75. From the water fund, $23,893.51. From the sewer fund, $29,372.15. From the capital fund, $716,734.09. And from trust and agency, $155,373.70, for a total of $1,028,401.20. Some larger items to note from the general water and sewer funds: Orange County landfill for $25,583.19. Huff Cut Concrete for the boat ramp extension, $6,997.50. Holland Company for $10,489.68. FinTech Corp for $7,473.50. From the Capital Fund, we had VACCon Services for $690,980. Hudson Valley Drones for $14,887. Foam Tech LLC for $5,500. And Neversink Lumber for $562.67. Would like to make a motion that we pay the bills.
Second.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing the clerk treasurer to seek real property tax exemptions for properties located within the town of Deer Park, utilized to operate the city's water system. Whereas the City of Port Jervis is the owner of real property in the town of Deer Park, County of Orange, identified on the tax maps as follows: 15-1-35.1, 52-1-2, 52-1-54.1, 35-1-8.2, and 57-1-40. Whereas the above real property is devoted solely to public use and part of the city-owned water system as the sites for water wells, treatment plant, chlorinator, associated equipment, and watershed. And whereas New York State Real Property Tax Law 4063 provides the authority for each taxing district in which the municipality-owned property used in such manner is located to grant a whole exemption from real property taxes levied by the taxing district. And whereas such exemption for the City of Port Jervis water supply site real property would provide a direct and immediate benefit for the taxpayers and water users of the city, and would enhance real property ownership, encourage industrial and commercial development, and exemplify a spirit of intermunicipal cooperation between the County of Orange and the city. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis, on behalf of the city, its taxpayers, water system users, and citizens, hereby petitions the County of Orange and the Town of Deer Park to grant a whole exemption from state, county, and town-related taxes commencing for the calendar year 2026 for the parcels of real property identified above and any additional properties as may be identified for which an exemption may be appropriate. And it is further resolved that the mayor and city corporation council are authorized to attend such meetings of the Orange County legislator and committees thereof as may be appropriate to aid and assist the deliberations in this petition by that governmental body. I make a motion that we accept.
Second.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I need to make a motion to set a public hearing to be held on November 25th, 2024 at 6:30 here in the council chambers to review and consider the tentative budget for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion?
What was the date?
November 25th. It's the next council meeting.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Finance has not met since our last council meeting. Our next finance meeting will be Wednesday, November 20th at 6 p.m. And I would just like to mention one last time that I am still collecting photos for the Tree of Valor. We'll be collecting photos through November 15th, and our tree lighting is scheduled for December 7th. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
6:30.
Tourism idea.
Thank you, Mayor. The Tourism Board has not met since their last meeting. The 10th annual Chris Kindle Market will be held on Sunday, December 1st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. downtown. Indoor vendors will be in the Erie trackside and newly added R.C. Smith Mercantile Building, along with outdoor vendors, a horse and wagon rides, petting zoo, and pony rides, which was sponsored by the Port Jervis Police Department. Whoville returns to Port Jervis will be held on Sunday, December 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. downtown. The Grinch and Who's will be making a special appearance. The next tourism meeting will be held tomorrow, November 13th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. Due to a lack of agenda items, the IDA will not meet this month. The 9th annual Couture's Kids Shoe Drive is now accepting new footwear. The drop-off location is at the Gun Lady, located at 41 Front Street, and should be made by December 16th. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Fire and Emergency Management, Councilman Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor. Special Ops would like to host their 6th annual Polar Plunge at West End Beach on January 11th, and with a bad weather date on January 18th. I make that a motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion on a polar plunge? See you there. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
I'll be away.
Motion carries.
It's gotta be warm then. There's hardly any water. It'll be
Can't
fine.
be that warm in January.
The next is the removal of Gerald Sacco, who, from Delaware Energy Company number 2, deceased on 10/18/24. I make that a motion.
Second with regret.
Second with regret from Councilman Siegel. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Also, a removal of Joseph Trotta from Howard Wheat Engine Company number 4, deceased on 10/18/24.
Second with regret again.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
The next is removal of Hayden Conklin from Delaware Engine, Tri-State Hose Company 6, removal of non-payment of dues and participation. Make that a motion.
Second that.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
The next, I have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing the sale of surplus property. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis previously declared certain vehicles or equipment tools owned by the city utilized by the fire department as surplus property pursuant to certain Common Council resolutions, and where the fire chief of the Port Jervis Fire Department received bids from neighboring fire departments to purchase vehicles, equipment, accomplished without the need to engage in a public bidding process. Where the Common Council, upon recommendation of the city fire chief, deems it is appropriate to accept the bids received for aforesaid vehicles, equipment, tools set forth below under recoup funds to use by the fire department's purpose. Resolved that the mayor, the fire chief, or their designee is authorized to dispose of the surplus vehicle and equipment tools as follows. 2005 Commander boat and Rescue 1 trailer to Hemlock Fire Department for $14,000. High pressure hydraulic tools, gas, electric, hydraulic lines, hydraulic ram, cutter, spreader, and miscellaneous accessories for $9,100 to Matamoros Fire Department. I make that a motion that we accept this resolution.
Second.
Second by Councilman Vicarello. Any discussion on the bids? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And the next fire emergency management meeting will be November 18th at 6:30 here in the council chambers. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. ADA, Councilman Owen?
Mayor, we have not met since our last meeting. We are scheduled to meet December 2nd at 5:30. That's all I have.
CDA, Councilwoman Dennison.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis. Whereas the City of Port Jervis's Fire Department volunteers self-contained breathing apparatus, personal protection equipment is reaching its end of useful life, and whereas the replacement of the equipment is expected to cost an estimated minimum of $502,856, and therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby approves the submission of said grant application no later than December 20th, 2024 at 5 p.m. and that the mayor or his designee, Valerie Majinski, Executive Director of the Port Jervis Community Development Agency, or other, is authorized to execute any and all documents in connection with this application. Make this motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion?
I hope we get it this time.
You're not kidding. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I have another resolution, Mayor, of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis, authorizing the Executive Director of the Port Jervis Community Development Agency to solicit proposals for management of the USDA Urban Forestry Grant Project awarded to the city. Whereas the City of Port Jervis was awarded $1 million grant from the USDA Urban Forestry Program to hire a certified tree service person or company to manage, administer, and implement the city's 2019 Community Forest Management Plan, planting component and beyond right-of-way trees, establish a green tree corps, hire youth through existing summer employment programs, educate city staff and the public in urban forestry and environmental careers, increase climate sustainability, reduce heat indices and benefit humans and all living creatures, and institute a long-term funded municipal urban forestry action plan. And now therefore let it be hereby resolved that the Common Council hereby authorizes and directs the Executive Director of the Port Jervis Community Development Agency or her designee or solicit proposal bids from interested parties to provide the above described urban forestry services, and it is further resolved that the director shall therefore report back to the Common Council with the results of said proposal submission. That motion, please.
Second.
Second by Councilman Vicarello. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And lastly, the Port Jervis CDA last met on October 23rd at the Rec Center, and the next scheduled meeting of the CADA is November 20th at 7 p.m. at the Rec Center.
Okay.
Mayor? Is there not another resolution that I had sent over? Did you pull that? I do see it on there.
Do you have that?
For real?
I don't have that. I
I
don't have
don't
that.
have it.
I have it.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Alright.
Thought you were done.
I didn't have this one, sorry.
Okay. Maybe it'll find we need to do.
Yeah, don't find any more. I have a final resolution, Mayor.
Okay.
Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing the Executive Director of the City of Port Jervis Community Development Agency to solicit proposals for engineering services in connection with the Resilient Investments through Support and Capital Risk Program Grant Project awarded to the city. Whereas the City of Port Jervis was awarded a grant, the Resilient Investments through Support and Capital Program from the Housing Trust Fund Corporation, under which the City Reservoir 1 Spillway Rehab and Water Main Resiliency Planning Project will undertake a comprehensive draining analysis of the project area and develop a conceptual design that addresses flooding and protection of the water main. The study will explore whether rebuilding the spillway and replacing the critical 24-inch water main may provide flood relief. In addition, a cost-benefit analysis will be completed for use in applications to capital funding sources for construction implementation, along with grant application submission support, and whereas it is necessary to solicit proposals for engineering services in connection with this project to ensure that the city selects the most qualified person or firm to provide such services. Now therefore let it be hereby resolved that the Common Council hereby authorizes and directs Executive Director of the Port Jervis Community Development Agency or her designee to solicit proposal bids from interested parties to provide the above described engineering services, and it is further resolved that the Director shall thereafter report back to the Common Council with the results of said proposal submission. Make that a motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those Opposed?
Liz, you need this one?
Motion carries. Yeah. Housing and Veterans, Councilman Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. Housing Authority last met on October 22nd. Next meeting is scheduled for November 26th at 7 o'clock at Hillside Terrace. Excuse me. The next Senior Club meetings are November 13th and November 27th at 1 p.m. at Fellowship Hall in West End. Veterans Information, the Veterans Day Parade and ceremony was held yesterday with nice weather and good participation. We thank all our veterans for their service to our country and their contribution to our freedom. The Broome Street Veterans Day concert was very nice and well attended. Thanks again to the Broome Street Band for that tribute to our veterans. And once again, veterans are reminded that flu shots are available at the clinic. Just call the clinic at 845-856-5396 for an appointment or stop by in the afternoon. And the inspirational quote of the day, in the spirit of Veterans Day. Many have heard this, some have not. Either way, it's pretty important. Well stated. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us the freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the poet, that has given, the reporter gave us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of the speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who gives us the right to demonstrate. And that was Zell Miller. And the last thing, I think we should all pray for the fallen park ranger that lost his life in Greenwood Lake a couple days ago, and for all the firefighters that are fighting the battle of that brush fire and all the other brush fires around us. So prayers to them. And thank you, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, sir. DPW, Councilman Large Hockenberry.
Thank you, Mayor. Common Council has not met since the last council meeting. For the remainder of this week, garbage and recycling will be picked up one day later. Paper pickup will be on its normal schedule. The week of November 18th, garbage, recycling, and paper pickup will be on its normal schedule. The 2024 garbage schedule is available on the city website at www.portjervisny.gov or by emailing the DPW office at dpwclerk@portjervisny.gov. Compost pile dump tickets are now open every Saturday from 7:15 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Street sweeping is ongoing throughout the wards. Citywide bag leaf pickup is every Monday until completion. Loose leaf pickup. Loose leaf pickup. Sounds like some sort of a binder. Loose leaf pickup is ongoing in all wards. Christmas decorations have arrived and will start going up later this week. Our next DPW meeting is scheduled for December 2nd at 6 o'clock p.m. And that's all for the DPW report. I do have a motion to enter into a POP agreement with Green Light Corporation. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Thank you.
Second by Councilman O'Connell.
Connor.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That agreement is subject to final review by Corporation Council, please. There's a couple of changes I need to make to it.
Yeah, just amend that. Just the amendment will revote. The amendment will be subject to
Just
Corporation
subject
Council.
to
Final
Final
review.
approval of the content by Corporation Council. I do need to make one or two changes.
Okay.
So I'm in.
Second that? Second. Second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries.
And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. For consideration, I have a assembly permit application for the 2025 Stone Challenge on Point Peter, and this will be held on November 2nd, 2025.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Vicarello. Any discussion? Or second by Councilwoman Dennison. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Chief Warden asked me to pass this along to everybody. On November 20th at Foundry 42 from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 4:30 in the afternoon, we'll be holding Coffee with a Cop. And this is an excellent event for the community to get together with our police department. I will be in attendance also, and this is an opportunity for us to listen to the citizens' questions, hear their concerns, hopefully develop some solutions, and just for everybody to get to know the police officers in our community. And that will be from 3 o'clock to 4:30, again, November 20th at Foundry 42.
What was the date again?
20th.
Thank you.
Okay, last week, the Department of Public Works and the Water Department sent out lead service letters. Those letters were required to be sent out, and I believe they were sent out to over 1,500 homes within the city of Port Jervis. That was a mandate that was put down on us by the state of New York and also the Orange County Department of Health. Everybody will be getting these letters annually from this point in time forward at the same time every year. We were required to get these letters out by November 15th, or there was a penalty involved. So what these letters are is not to say that you have lead in your water. It's to say that the city is in an attempt to gain an inventory of what we have in the ground in terms of lead or galvanized pipes. So if you know that you have lead, or if you think you have lead, within the letter itself shows a way that you could test to see if your lead line, if you have a lead line coming into your house, are galvanized. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact the Department of Public Works or the Water Department. And you may also contact the Orange County Department of Health. But your water is safe coming into the city, from the city to the point of your house. It is tested weekly, and it's tested at many different points throughout the city. Again, the letter wasn't intended to scare anybody in the event that they think they have lead. If you read the letter, you will carefully see that it's just notifying you that we are trying to get an inventory, which New York State has imposed on us. So that's what the lead letters were about. Lastly, let's talk about the budget. So for fiscal year 2025, I will be imposing a 2.5% tax increase. Included in this tax increase is no fund balance. We are not taking any fund balance to balance the budget this year. This budget will not increase water or sewer bills, but this budget will also hold a position that we are looking to create in terms of IT. IT has become a very important position. Security, cybersecurity, as well as all the technology now that we're required to have in our clerk's office and our police department, as well as our fire department, and it's important that we look to create that position and have somebody on site that can constantly upgrade, monitor, and repair our IT. With that, I think it's important to note that this budget does stay underneath the New York State tax cap. Now, we did propose a local law to override it. At the time, we weren't sure if we would need to. We do not need to override it in terms of the tax increase, but we do have to override it for the purposes of the annexation properties and if they do get developed in regards to the tax money that we can then take back. So I do want to make that a note that this does stay under the New York State tax cap. I'd like to thank all the department heads, and I'd like to go back to January when we had multiple conversations with all the department heads about belt tightening and not spending. I don't want to say recklessly because that's not the word, but not spending at a rapid pace. We came in, our job was to kind of slow down the finances and slow down the fact of our spending, and our department heads answered that call, and I want to thank them for that. I'd also like to thank them for being very conservative in what they are asking for from this year forward in regards to budget requests. Some departments did not put in budget requests, and the others were very conservative. And I want to thank them for that too, because that also helped us balance this budget moving forward. So I want to thank them for that and their hard work throughout the year, because it should be noted. So with that, I am turning over the budget to the council and the finance committee for review and further recommendations. And I have no further for tonight, so with that, I make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Second by Councilman Siegel.
Well, one of us will make a motion.
Yes. Go ahead, Nick.
Motion for adjournment.
Second by Councilman Siegel. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
That was a good try.
It was a very long day.